Hi, everyone. This is David Michael Creel, and I just wanted to give you a personal perspective. As you know, I've been living here in Latvia now for about almost 4 years, and we are off the border of Russia. Russia is to our east, and many people have asked me, is Latvia concerned what's going on in Ukraine? Yes, in many ways, the Baltic states, as well as Poland and other countries that are on the border of Russia, are very concerned of what's going on. When I was in Romania, I got to talk to some of the people from Poland who are just as nervous and fearful because they're watching what's going on in Ukraine, and they remembered when their country was invaded first by Germany and then by Russia. Uh, in Latvia, we also have a strong Russian population as well. These were the Russians that were brought in by Russia during the Soviet years to replace a lot of the Latvians that were shipped to Siberia. And of course, they stayed, and these were the ones that kind of brought the Soviet influence and kind of trained the Latvians how to be a Soviet kind of person. Of course, now these are their children. But the thing is, uh, the Russian and Latvians, there's a underlying tension relationship between the Latvians and the Russians because from what I've been told, um, the Latvians uh, saw the country being taken over by the Russians, where the Russians saw it, well, no, we were there to help you, and we just helped make your life better. That was their opinion. So, so there is some kind of underlying tension. Uh, Most of the population of the Russians are more east of where I'm at. I'm more in the southwest side of Latvia. Actually, I'm close to the border of Lithuania, about half an hour away from Lithuanian border. But from Riga more eastward is definitely the stronger Russian population mixed in. The Russian people that are here, most of them are not even citizens of Latvia because to be a citizen of Latvia, you have to speak Latvian, and the Russians have refused to learn Latvian. And so, again, there's that tension that's there because, from what I've been told, there are some Russians that are very diehard for the Kremlin, very pro Moscow. Many would like to see the good old days come back. And one of the common questions I keep getting asked is, well, do you fear that Russia would come into Latvia? It's not do I fear, it's when. And I've been told about this since the first time I came to Latvia in 2008. I was speaking to a pastor who had lived here for 14 years who shared with me back in 2008 that when Putin first came to power the first time, he said he has made it known, Putin, that he wants to reclaim the Baltic states again, which includes Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, that he wants to once again absorb them back into Russia, which is one of the reasons why Latvia in 2004 joined NATO and has become part of the European Union. So that, God forbid, if something like what's happening in Ukraine happened to Latvia, according to the treaty that we have with NATO and EU, we would have nations come to our defense, which also includes America. Again, we're not, you know, God forbid that ever happens, but then there's also the possibility of what happens if no one does come to our defense because we are a small country. Um, the reason why Ukraine is a unique situation is they're not part of the EU, and so they were kind of an independent country. And like Latvia, there's a strong Russian population as well as Ukrainians. Um, so it's been interesting to watch, especially from this side of the world, because we're just north of Ukraine. I think we're roughly about 520 miles north of Ukraine. I Googled it, wanted to see how far are we from them. Actually, when I was in Romania 2 weeks ago, we were right next to Ukraine. So it's really weird to hear the news from this side because I've been asking people, what do you think? What do you think? Because again, we've been hearing uh, from this side of the world, if Putin did this, what's going to stop him from trying something else? So definitely please keep this region in prayer. In fact, if you notice, the world seems to be a a lot of hot spots right now. You know, Syria, North Korea, Iran, the Middle East, and so forth. Um, Another question I get is, well, if something happens, will you leave? I don't know. I I've been thinking about this, and um, and actually, what's kind of weird, maybe I don't know, and this is being I'm just being very personal with you. Um, for some reason, I've always, for some reason, thought, what happens if Latvia was, um, you know, Russia came into Latvia again? Would I take the next plane out? I can't answer that because I have children here. I have a family here. I have school kids here. And this country has only experienced freedom now for 22 years and is still learning to be a independent country after being occupied by many countries in its history. And God forbid if something was to happen, I don't want to even think about being forced to make a decision, you know, go back to America or stay here and see what happens. So, you know, because of what's been going on with Ukraine, I've been really thinking about that. Like, well, what will happen if something happens and I have to decide? Uh, I don't know. I hope never to find out, but just keep that in prayer. Anyway, I just want to give you a personal update. Just want to share from my heart. You know that so far we're doing okay, but again, we're keeping our eye on what's going on in Ukraine because it's kind of like, well, whatever happens there, what's the chance of it could happen to our sister country, Estonia or Lithuania, or us here in Latvia or Poland. So please keep this in prayer. Just pray that the Lord's peace would descend because, like I said, it seems like there's a lot of hot spots going on. But as a one who believes in the immediate coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, then things are kind of right in line, you know. So, but that's again my personal opinion. So, anyway, just wanted to let you know I'm okay, and yeah, I'm okay. We're doing fine so far. So please keep us in prayer. All right, take care. God bless.